Hello everyone, welcome again to another video. So in today's video we are going to learn how to weave a heart shape into our bag. I'm using 10mm plastic bead in pink, clear crystal bead as my outer color. Okay, so I'm using both bead to make this. This is my fishing line or my monofilament 50-pound fishing line. That's what I'm using. I'm using 50-pound. And a little cutter. You can use nail cutter or scissors, whatever you want. So let's get started. So with this project we are going to start with 4 crystal bead. Crystal bead is going to be my outer layer bead, and the pink is going to be my design bead. Okay, that's what I'm going to use for the design. So I put 4 bead on the line. All right, I'm going to hold the last one, and I cross with my other line, crisscross like this, and pull down. To make sure you hold both ends together of the line so one is not longer than the other. Now on my right and the left line, I'm going to add one bead and cross into the third bead. Now add 1 bead to the left line and 1 to the right line like this, then cross both ends of the line into the third one and pull like this, crisscross, hold and pull down. And we are done with the second one. Okay, so again on each side of my line I add one bead, then I cross into the third one, add 1 bead to the left line, 1 to the right, then take the third one like this. Okay, I'm going to take the third one and cross both ends of my line into it and pull it down like this. Now we are going to repeat this one more time. I add one bead on each side of my line, left and right line like this. Okay, now I'm going to pick up the third one, this one, and cross both ends of my line into it and pull it down, crisscross like this, hold both ends together and pull down. So now we have 4 flowers done. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make 5, 6. So I'm going to make 6 flowers. All right, and this is how my 6 flowers look like. All right, this is how it's looking like. Now we are going to continue, and I want you to watch closely how I'm going to pick my bead. Now I take 2 pink and 1 crystal. So I'm going to add crystal to my left and pink bead to my right line. Okay, this is my right line, this is my left line, and I'm going to cross into the pink and pull down like this. Then I'm going to cross both ends of my line into the pink and pull down, crisscross like this and pull down. And this is how it's looking like. I'm going to put one pink on each line, and I'm going to cross into the pink one and pull down like this. Okay, I put one on the right and the left line. I'm going to cross into the pink one and pull, crisscross both ends of the line into the pink bead and pull down like this. Now on each side of my line again, the left and the right. Okay, I'm going to take my bead like this. I add pink to the right, and on my left I add crystal bead. All right, and pink to the right line like this. Then I'm going to cross both ends into the crystal bead and pull like this. This is how the weave is looking like. Now we are going to continue. On each line I add one crystal on each line, then I'm going to cross into the crystal and pull. So we are going to continue here with the crystal bead. All right, like this. So now I'm going to continue the weave with only the crystal bead. Okay, the number of counts on this side, I'm going to repeat the same number of counts on the other side. The same number repeats on this side too. So I add 1 crystal on each line, then I'm going to cross into the third one and pull, crisscross and pull down. So now I made 2. I'm going to continue to make 3 more. And here is how it looks like. This is how it's looking like. The weave is looking like. The number of counts must be equal. So now if you count is 6 with crystal, 1, 2, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the crystal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we are going to turn on this to make 7. So now we are going to turn this way and continue. On my left line, I'm going to add all these 3 beads on my left line. Add all these 3 like this. Okay, hold the last one, cross the right line into it and pull. That way we have the exact same number on this side. Now let's continue. Okay, I'm going to flip it over to my side so we can continue the second row. So now on my left line, I'm going to add this line, okay? 3 beads to my left line. I add 3 beads to my left line. I'm going to hold the last one, cross with the right line and pull. Now my right line, I'm going to pull my right line into the next bead. Put the right line into the next bead, and the left line, I add 2 beads to the left line, like this. For the last one, cross with the right line and pull. My right line into the next bead. Then I add 2 beads to my left line. Cross and pull down. Now into the next bead again, I pull my right line into the next bead. And on the left line, I add 2 beads to the left line. Into the next bead, I add 2 beads to the left line, cross with the right line, and pull. I'm going to pull my right line again into the next bead. Pull through the next bead. And now we are going to extend the pink over here. Okay, we are going to extend the pink on this line. I'm going to add 2 pink to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull. So now we are going to add all pink over here. This side is going to be pink before we continue. So the right line into the next bead. I add 2 pink to the left line, cross with the right line and pull. Into the next bead, put the right line to the next bead and add 2 beads to the left line, cross and pull down. Into the next bead. On my left line, I add 2 beads. Cross and pull. Okay, this is how the weave is looking like. I'm going to pull again into the next bead. So as you can see over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have 5 pink. Over here we have 4. So we have to add 1 before we enter the crystal bead to make the exact same number. Okay, so I add 1 pink first before the crystal, like this. This is how you pick your bead. Okay, now I cross into the crystal and pull. And this is how it's looking like. Now we have the same exact number. Counting is more important. Okay, we are going to continue with only the crystal. Now I add 2 crystals to my left line, cross and pull. We are going to continue with crystal over here. Now I'm on the last one. Okay, this is how the weave is looking like. I'm going to put my right line into the last bead. So the same line, I add 2 crystal beads. Cross with the left line and pull. Now my line turn on the side so I can start a new row. I'm going to flip it over to my side, and on my left line, we are going to go this way and add more pink to it. Okay, so I add 3 beads to my left line. Cross and pull. My right line into the next bead. I pull through the next bead, and on my left line I add 2 beads to my left line. into the next bead, 2 bead to the left line, cross and pull down, into the next bead, 2 bead to the left line, cross and pull. Now we are going to add more bead to the pink, okay? We are going to extend the pink. We are going to extend over here. So on my left, I add 2 pink to my left line. And now we are going to drop all pink over here on this line, all right? I'm going to go through the pink. I add 2 pink to my left, into the next 2 pink to the left line, into the next bead. I add 2 pink to the left line, cross and pull. Going to pull through the next pink bead. Then I add 2 pink to my left line, okay? Like this, cross with the right line and pull. I'm going to go through the last pink over here. This is the last one. I'm going to add 2 pink to my left line, cross and pull. So now I'm going to add 1 more pink. I'm going to pull through the crystal, and now I add 1 pink and 1 crystal bead. Alright, so we are going to continue with crystal over here. And now I'm in the last bead. I'm going to pull my line through the last bead. And on the same line, I'm adding 2 crystal beads to it. Like this, cross and pull. My line turn on the side again. Let's start a new row. So my left line, I'm adding all 3 beads to the left line. Like this. I'm crossing with my right line and pull down. I'm going to pull my right line into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull. Into the next, I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull down. I'm going to pull through the next crystal. Okay, we are going to extend the pink again. I add 2 pink to my left line, cross with the right line and pull. I'm going to go through the pink again. So over here, we are going to add all pink to the pink side and crystal to the crystal side. Okay, we continue and turn again. So now do yours and I'll meet you back over here. So now I added pink and the crystal. I'm going to go through the last bead over here. Pull through the last bead at the end. The same line, I add 2 crystal beads to it. Cross with the left line and pull. We are going to make another roll again, okay? So I flip it over to my side. I add 3 beads to my left line. For the last one, cross with the right line and pull. My right line into the next bead. Pull through the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull down. My right line again into the crystal bead. Pull through the crystal bead. So now we are going to extend again. So I add 2 pink to my left line. As you can see, the crystal decreases and the pink increases. Okay, we are increasing the pink in the middle. We are going to go this way until we complete. All right, it's going to go like this. So now let's continue. I'm going to add pink to the pink side and crystal to the crystal side. So let's go to the pink. I add 2 pink to my left line, cross and pull down. Into the next bead, I add 2 pink to my left line, cross and pull. So continue to add your bead and I'll meet you back here. I'm going to add and come back. Alright, so we turn and make another row. This is mine. I complete that row. Okay, you see how the shape is taking a V shape. Now we are at the end of the last one. Now on my left line, I'm adding this bead, okay? I'm going to put 2 crystal first, then I add pink, okay? That is how I'm going to start this row. I'm going to cross my right line into the pink and pull like this. Now I'm going to pull through the next bead, then I'll add 2 beads to it. I'm going to go ahead and add all pink to this side, okay, and turn. So I'm adding 2 pink to my left line, cross and pull into the next bead. I add 2 pink to my left line, cross with the right line and pull. I'm going to continue like that to the end. Okay, I'm coming to enter my line into the last bead. And now the same line, I add 2 crystal beads to it to complete this row. Like this. Alright, this is how it's looking like. This is how the weave is looking like. We are going to start another row. So my left line, I add 2 crystal and 1 pink bead. I'm going to cross my right line into the pink and pull. Now into the next bead. Okay. I add 2 pink to my left line like this, okay? Cross with the right line and pull down. Into the next bead, add 2 pink to the left line, cross with the right line and pull. Into the next bead, so I'm going to go ahead, add all pink to it. This is how it's looking like. I'm going to go ahead, add all pink to the end. So here, I'm about to complete this row. This is the last bead. Enter the last bead. And on the same line, okay, I add 2 crystal beads to the same line. Like this, I cross with my left line and pull. This is how it's looking like. Now we complete 2 rows over here. You see the end? This is 1, 2, okay? We are going to make 3, 4. So in all, we are going to make 4 in the middle. And this is how it's looking like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll go ahead and make another 2 rows and come back and meet you here. This is how it's looking like. So now let's count 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to start in this bead, the 3rd bead, okay? Let me cut this line over here. It's looking crooked in the bead. So now I'm going to start in the 3rd bead. 1, 2, 3. The 3rd one, okay? Here's my line. I'm going to pull it through this bead right here, the 3rd one. And I'm starting with 3 beads. I add 3 beads to my left line, cross with the right line and pull. Now my right line into the next bead. I add 2 beads to my left line, cross with the right line and pull down. Into the next bead, I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull. Into the next bead, I add 2 beads to my left line, cross with the right line and pull. Now I'm going to enter the last bead, okay? This is the last bead I'm going to enter. Now on the same line, I add 2 beads to it, cross and pull. So now I'm going to turn and weave this direction, okay? Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to ignore this one and enter the next bead, this bead. All right, so I'm going to work my way with my line and enter the next bead. I'm just pulling through the bead so I can enter the next bead over here. Okay, take the 2nd line, weave through the bead one by one like this, and then enter the next bead. All right, so now I'm going to weave this direction, okay, on this direction. So I'm adding 3 beads to my right line like this. I cross with my left line and pull. Now I'm going to pull my right line again into the next bead. Go through the next bead. On the left line, I add 2 beads to the left line, cross and pull. Going to enter the next bead again. Then I add 2 beads to my left line. I cross with my right line and pull. And that is how we pull a shape into the heart, okay? We are going to end this one over here, and what I'm going to do to secure this line, I'm going to weave it a little bit back into the bead before I trim it off. I'm going to weave this a little bit back into the bead, then I trim it off. So here I'm just trying to secure the line into the bead, so I'm weaving back into the bead. Make sure it's well secured before I trim it off. This is very simple and easy to make. Anybody can make this design, okay? Just make sure you watch the video closely so you can have all the tips to make yours. So now let's complete the other part, okay? We are going to go this way like how we did over here. Let me turn it to my side, and now we are going to continue to complete this side. Now 1, 2, 3, I'm going to enter into the 3rd bead. Put the line through the 3rd bead and add 3 beads to the line, cross and pull like this and pull down. Now into the next bead, I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull down. I'm going to pull through the next bead. I add 2 beads, cross with my right line and pull. So I'm going to pull through the next bead again, go through the next bead and add 2 beads to the left line, cross and pull down. I'm going to enter the last bead, this one, okay? Enter the last bead. Now the same line that I put through the bead, I add 2 beads to it. Cross with the left line and pull. So now, this is what we are going to do over here again. We are going to ignore the first one and enter the second bead, alright? Like how we did for the other side. I'm pulling my line through so I can enter the second bead. So I'm just weaving through the bead so I can enter the second bead like this, okay? This is where my line is in the second bead, and now we are going to continue our beading. I start with 3 beads, cross with the left line and pull. I'm going to enter the next bead with my right line like this. Add 2 beads to the left line, cross and pull down. Now into the next bead, I add 2 beads to my left line, cross and pull. So now we come to the end of our weave. There you have it. So this is how you weave your love shape or heart shape into your bag, and this is how it is done. It looks very beautiful, very pretty. Over here I'm just weaving the rest of the line into the bead. Make sure it's secured before I trim it off, and this is how it's looking like. Very, very pretty, very beautiful. And there you have it. This is how it's looking like. So you just have to weave the rest of the line into the bead and make sure it's secured enough, and then trim the rest off. Until I come your way again, thank you for watching.